What is up, beautiful humans? My name is Blythe Langford, holistic business coach and creator of podcast and YouTube channel Upgrade with Blythe Langford, which literally upgrades your body, your mind, your life and your business, and also creator, visionary for the non-for-profit foundation Resonate Foundation, which helps to help Indigenous tribes around the world reclaim land and regenerate the land and create cultural healing centres, as well as all different past projects that I've supported. So that's why I do what I do. The work that I do, I help people in their businesses and in their lives and all of those things so that they can have amazing lives, and then with all the profits it goes to funding into other projects that light my heart up and my soul up on every level. And I'll talk into a little bit about that. Hey Kevin. And I look like not so great today. I was like bawling my eyes out this morning. I went into a deep process of breath work, and that's why I wanted to tune in about this subject. Literally crying for, I don't even know, my poor neighbours. And I'm obviously a lot more chill today because I've broken my fast, so I'm not as hyper, a lot more relaxed, and really see the polarities of my craziness. And it's nice that I get to share all the parts of myself with you people, so that you see that we're all multidimensional beings and we're never one personality. We are so multidimensional. So just be whoever you are at any moment in time, because you are perfect just the way you are. Last night, breaking my fast, and it was like you probably, if you saw me last night, I was high as a kite, like lucid on juice, right? 50 days of juice will do that, no food. And I did my video and I was like so happy, and it was great and living the best life ever. And what's been really coming up for me, and I'm sure has been coming up for many people, is the polarities in life, right? Like last month when I was at the top of the mountain in Wirrakuta, the most spiritual place in all of the Americas, with my teacher and two of my dear brothers, and literally praying and crying and having the best day of my life. And I took my phone out to take a picture of the scenery, and then but I'm actually going to speak honestly about a situation that's come up, because I have been not hiding it, but I have not been able to address it because of legal reasons. And I feel like my lawyers won't be happy with this, but I feel like it's something that I really want to address. I was on the top of this mountain in Wirrakuta, most spiritual place in the whole entire world, taking my phone out to take a picture, and I got sent a breach notice from a lawyer. And I was like, whoa, I'm having the best day of my life, and this so annoying thing has just happened. Like, what? The polarities are insane. And I don't know if this is showing up for you. I would probably think that the situation that we're in, like, this is showing up for a lot of people, right? And it was the same last night, 50 days of fasting. Oh my gosh, so empowered, literally high as a freaking kite on juice and fasting, right? And then again, literally had my first meal, prayed over my meal, such gratitude for it becoming all parts of my body, and just in love with it, and just so grateful, and just, it was everything. 2 grapefruits, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Anyway, and then I opened up my emails later on to receive another blackmail-y kind of letter from somebody. And it was just really interesting. I was like, wow. And I was super triggered last night, and I calmed myself down, but at that moment, just super triggered when you're getting blackmailed all the time. It's the thing. Not all the time, but getting that letter, and it's like, wow, what was my juice fast allowing me to, and this is the stories that I had last night, which is different to what I had today. I've just done a juice fast, this is supposed to solve the whole world, look at the offering that I gave to everything and myself and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, no, that was just like a little bit of a timeout. This is just my thoughts last night. That was just a little bit of a timeout, but the world doesn't change. You go back to those same things, right? I was like, oh, okay. And then another thing happened, like like I have a few businesses. One of my staff members quit, and before even starting, because he'd been poached by another person within this business, that same person that was like blackmailing me. And it's just yuckiness, you know? And anyway, so got over it, went to bed, and then got up this morning really feeling so angry and so much rage towards these people for creating, listen to the stories in this, for creating that situation for me, and super blaming of other people, right? And me not holding any accountability, and then feeling so, after the anger comes out, then the sadness comes out. It's like, oh, I need my best friend, and I feel so abandoned by my best friend because she's just moved out and she's like really busy and can't talk to me at the moment, and it's like, oh, I just need her, you know. And then I was like, fuck, I'm losing my shit. This is all in about half an hour. I am losing my shit. Like, what am I going to do, right? So I just went back to bed and did my breath work. Normally when I wake up in the morning, I do breath work straight away because it is so healing, and you can deal with any situation so much better because you've got double or triple or 10 times the amount of oxygen running through your blood and through your brain, which is so great. It heals anxiety. So I was literally like so rageful and then so sad. So I went back to bed, I did my breath work. I ended up doing a 4-hour breathwork session, and I went into the depths of, I can't even tell you, the trauma that was here within me, within this lifetime. I went into parts of myself, and this is the beauty of after doing a fast. And this is what I was saying last night, you know, like you can go and do all the medicine work in the world, but sometimes things happen so quickly that you haven't actually dealt with it like you think you are, right? Like I've done a lot of plant medicine, and the things that I think that I'm healing in those ceremonies, they were really popping up because they weren't healed. It was this juice fast that allowed me to work with the plants, and I'm talking subtle food plants now, in the juice over this period of time, that allowed me 50 days to really release all of those little pockets of everything that the other medicine hadn't healed yet, or that the other things that I'd done hadn't healed yet. And we're like the onion, right? Like there's a layer, and then we peel that layer, and then it's lovely, and we get to play for a while. And then there's another layer, which is challenging, and then we get through those limitations, and then we play and celebrate and have an amazing time. And then there's another layer, right? So there's always layers. It's like the infinite onion of life. Into these pains and into these traumas and healing them for myself, I literally did it was just through the breath, doing my own family constellation, and, you know, being an intuitive, able to really go to my family and then witness things from, because growing up with, you know, grandfather being a Freemason and things like that, and having that down your line, but then also my dad was adopted, so, and we believe him to be part of the stolen generation because they won't give us his birth certificates. And anyway, that's a whole other story for another time. And with my abuse as a child, when I used to, so it's not 100% clear of everything that happened, because either I was, anyway, drugged or multiple times, or because I am a psychic, I was like, I've also experienced so many things of things that had happened to my family and all of that sort of stuff. So sometimes it's challenging to navigate what's happening to who and what you're feeling and things like that, especially when you're a child, right? And so I was able in this session to go into all these different things and then literally go through my timeline and heal certain parts of trauma that was still there and stagnant, that was so present. So I was able to see exactly what it was and really understand the whole situation and go back and heal that one. And then it went back to the next one before that and go and heal that one and understand it. And it's like, well, understand it first, and then if it needs healing, then heal it, and then go back to the next one and go back to the next one and go back to the next one. Because I'm like a really interesting person in that my whole life I've been dealing with a whole lot of people that had died around me, you know. And it's also very interesting because then when you look at your parents and things like that, what they called into their reality as well, with their own thoughts and all that sort of stuff. Because like my dad being adopted into a Mason family and then being tortured and abused himself, it's so I always have a lot of compassion for people that are the abuser, because they were generally abused 20,000 times more than they abuse other people. And that's not an excuse or anything like that, but it's just really interesting to understand, you know, like hurt people. And it's not that those people should be just locked away and put in a prison. It's like, that doesn't solve anything. And it solves a lot of things for, you know, companies that get to use them as slaves, and that's what they want, more slaves. It doesn't heal humanity, you know. And so when I was going into this breathwork session, once I went through my lifetime, then I went into like my families, and then I went into our whole line, like First Nation people, and then, you know, Mason people, and was able to experience that, and then got drawn back into Mother Earth and the disconnection that she sometimes experiences from us humans, because we forget that we are little babies of her. And it was so freaking amazing to have felt the womb of Mother Nature. Now this is sounds so woo-woo, but think about this. What if this is legit it. Every human on the planet is like a baby of Mother Earth, of Pachamama, you know, Pachamama, goddess of the earth. And especially Westerners, like a lot of Westerners, and especially people in Australia or in not necessarily America, but in lots of places, feel disconnected from their community and their tribe, and that's really missing, you know. Like a lot of people feel that cultural separation and like, where's my tribe, who's this, you know. That's why people get so obsessed with their family, because they're trying to create that tribe that they don't have, or they get born into a culture and blah blah. But you know what I'm saying, right? It's like that's really missing. And once we go back and step into the fact that we are all one tribe, obviously, and always connected to our Mother Earth, and she's so abundant and giving to us all the time, always nourishing, then that's the healing place. And I guess like a lot of downloads came through today, so I'm only going to share just a few. But you know, like the work that I do with my non-for-profit, it was like so clear. She gave me a lot of answers. So how to help everybody heal their traumas and their disconnection from the earth, and the disconnection from their tribe, and the disconnection from spirit, and the disconnection from self, and that self-worth, and that unworthiness, and that longing, and all of that separation, and all of that is really a disconnection from Mother Earth, right? Like if we have that deep connection with Mother Earth, then we're always at home, we're always with our family, right? So that's what she was really saying to me, and like gave me a lot of messages about our retreats, how to create that, and the children that I need to work with, and the tribes that I need to work with, you know, because I'm starting another initiation with another tribe, and how this can all sort of interlink just beautifully across the world. And you know, I work in Mexico and then in Australia, and how we get those medicine people together so that they can work, all the elders can work together and like connect, and then we can really help the next generation of humans coming through and create more, you know, Australia's only got 2% Indigenous community left. It's like, how can we grow this? You know, how can we grow this bloodline so that it's doesn't die out, you know? Because ever since I was a kid, that's been my biggest thing, is that this is so important. Like this culture is so important. We can't let that go, you know, and we need to be involved in that. So that came through. And then also, which was really such a beautiful gift, and what I really wanted to talk about actually as well is the trauma that was involved in my situation this morning, where it stemmed back to was these bloodlines that like I've inherited that DNA, you know, and being my dad an adopted baby, from Stolen Generation, we only know, like I only know that one of his grandparents or his mum was Indigenous. We don't know the other, the other people involved because he's adopted, right? And so it, the rage and the trauma. So it's really interesting when you are, and we've all, like when you actually think about it, every human has got trauma down their family line. Every human, like whether you're white, black, yellow, green, alien, anything, it doesn't matter. Like every bloodline has got trauma down it. I literally went into the Illuminati and their pain and their separation from Mother Earth, and I literally saw, and I've seen this so many times. She shows me this one often, is having like really people in that coming into ceremony and really connecting with Mother Earth, and that helps to heal their separation that they feel as well, because the trauma and the satanic ritual abuse and the kid trafficking and all of that is really just a separation from Mother Earth, and just these programs that are nasty, because back down the line somebody was hurt and they never dealt with it, and they just kept on passing it down generationally. And now, because that's got a lot of money involved in it, and it's really cool to kill babies and take their blood and be rich and all that sort of stuff, that has somehow become okay with some people. And like it's not, especially when you grow up with that sort of stuff, like it's never going to be okay, and there's always going to be people that remember, right? So we get a chance as adults to really go back and heal our family line if we are ready, if we're ready. And when we choose to do that, what a blessing, not only to ourselves for doing that, but then our whole, like our parents, our siblings, and when we deal with that, then it stops with us, and then the future generations that come after us really get that healing as well, and we create amazing things for the rest of the world. So it's really beautiful and really important. And so, yeah, like so much is coming through after this fast. Like I thought a lot came through during the 50 days, but it didn't. It was so superficial. Like now it's full, deep level integration of everything and the work that we need to do. And so, and all of this was triggered because of somebody that was trying to take something away from me and trying to hurt me. So it's really interesting when we can actually dive into the rage and into the terror and into the abandonment, into our issues, rather than running away from them and avoiding them, and then seeing the beauty on the other side of it. And like with all of my programs, with all of my coaching clients, I give them specific rituals and things like that, especially this new program, Upgrade Method. Next level, like so many downloads came from being with my elders in Mexico about this one. So it's just like off the charts, right, of what we get through in this one-on-one program. It's next level. So all the integrations, all the things that I've learned over the last, 25 years, but also over the last few months, of how they all come together and they all glitch up perfectly, so that we're not just avoiding the things in our life and just creating like a rah-rah amazing good life. It's so that we're actually living our purpose and actually creating the impact that we want, so that we are in our lifetimes get to see the impact that our souls were here to create. And there is nothing more exciting than that for me, because humans change the world. There may be 1% of the world that is in charge of us right now. They've enslaved us, entrapped us, all of the things, whatever story or meaning you wanted to create around that to keep yourself trapped. But it's us, like terror and trauma and all of the things that we think put us down and limit us. They're our greatest gifts. Like, because I've literally dealt with so much trauma in my life, that's why I am the woman that I am. That's why I can hold the containers for other people. That's why my clients, no matter what they are dealing with, I'm able to have literally had that own experience for myself, and then have had many other clients that have had those experiences too. So I've got like a bank of knowledge and wealth there, so that no matter what is going on with somebody, I'm not scared of it, because I've experienced it and I've seen it. Like, I've legit, being an intuitive is challenging sometimes, right? Like, I never forget the first time that I was on a sacred land, and it was an Aboriginal slaughter. Ugh. It was an Aboriginal women's sacred ground that these women were slaughtered on that land. And when I went there, I literally felt all of their deaths. Like, I literally felt the wrists getting slit. I felt the throat getting slit. I was like constantly going like that because I kept on feeling like my throat getting slit. So being an intuitive is amazing. And then it's also having the right people around you so that you know how to deal with what's coming up. Because at that time when I was having that experience, the people that I was with, they did not know how to hold that container for me. They had not experienced something like that before. And this has happened multiple times with me going and doing medicine work. The medicine people haven't actually dealt with that issue before. That's why with the medicine work that we do, we always have an integration program. It is vital, because you do not know what is going to come up. You don't know your own psychic abilities. And like, I've got one of the girls on here, Maggie, beautiful Maggie. Gosh, I love you too, my gorgeous woman, who was one of my coaching clients and came to our retreat. And how was the integration program, Maggie? Did you feel safe and supported through that integration, so it made things a lot easier for you to navigate than being by yourself? And check in the notes. She'll put something here and just see. I don't know what she's going to say. I haven't even spoken to you today. I love you, Maggie. Hey, babe. And then another thing is that we all get to come together as community. Like the guys and the girls from Australia, we went over to Mexico, and like, they literally met my Mexican family, and that is now their Mexican family. When they go there, or when the guys come here, then their family, and our teachers are going to come over here as soon as this fucking thing goes away. So it's really beautiful that we are doing that. There's so many people around the world, like, connecting up the tribes and really connecting with Indigenous bloodlines and supporting cultural healing, like, between everything. I mean, we're all one, right? But it's legit, how can we really come together? Let's have a look at this. Yeah, she felt amazing and safe and supported being in the container that was and still is being held. Family always. Yeah. Yes. So beautiful. Like, that's how it is. We help each other. And one thing Mag said the other day is that we're all we had our last integration call this week, and Maggie was like the most beautiful, and like, I coach Maggie, but now she's coaching other people because she has taken so many amazing steps in her life and went into all her traumas and literally was there doing the work, like, with everything that came to her that was like triggering as frickin' anything. She still stepped in and did it and gave it a go just to see what was on the other side. And the woman that she is now, compared to the woman that I met when I first met her, it's chalk and cheese. It's like, she's liberated, she's free, she's happy, it's beautiful. Whereas before, it was a different experience of Maggie. So that's some of the work that we do, and that's why these things are so important, because at some level, like, especially everybody, at some level in your bloodline, you've got intuitives and witches that were burned at the stake, that were, if you're from Ireland, you've got that fairy island blood. If you're from the anywhere, like Indigenous, you're like one with Pachamama. If you're from like Wirrakuta, you are of the mountain, like, whatever your bloodline is, you go back to tribe. You are community, you are tribe, and we all go back to one person because we are all family. We just forgot, because so many of our ancestors were killed and tortured and burnt, right? And slaughtered and raped and pillaged. And that is that little thing in the pit of your belly that sometimes, like, just doesn't feel right because it hasn't been dealt with and it hasn't been really gone into. And that's why I love, like, especially, I mean, I love so many things, obviously. You know that I'm a love bug. I'm in love with everything. But that's why I really love the juice fasting, working with the breath, working with nature, working with healing the body, healing the mind. And what I mean by that is accepting it, understanding it, acknowledging it, and allowing it to fully integrate rather than avoiding it or feeling shame or guilt around who we are, because there's no mistake in any of us. We are absolutely perfect. Everything that you think you did wrong in this lifetime, you did right. You did right. There was a lesson in there. The only thing that makes it wrong is your mind or society. And they're all programmed, you know? Like, yeah, we all make mistakes and we wish that we hadn't. But the ones that we wish that we hadn't, we learn from the most, right? We're all just humans doing our best with the lives that we've been given, with the stories that we've been programmed with the society that we're in, with the culture that we're in, with the financial situation that we're in. We've been given these gifts as gifts. And the more we surrender into our gifts and our brilliance and surrender into everything that we're not willing to look at and just look at it and acknowledge it for what it is, we start to heal it, accept it, and integrate our full soul into our vessel. And when we're our full soul, we can, no matter what is going on, doesn't matter whether you've been crying for hours or been happy and joy in nature, we get to still express from our heart a different version of ourselves with a new depth and a new understanding and a new layer of love and compassion for ourselves and for other humans. And this is just so beautifully aligned right now that this sort of came up today. And what a gift for myself that I get to now choose, what do I do with it? Like, I know after my fast, like, I gave myself a little holiday. I see a fast as like a little holiday. It's like a mental holiday. You don't have to deal with the world. It's like a full shutout and everything's amazing. Like, you're on, like, I was lucid last night on my last video, like legit lucid. I think about that and I'm like, oh, God damn it. I feel like I need to apologize because I was so freaking crazy. But I don't need, the only person I feel like I need to apologize to really is myself. And then when I look at that, it's like, oh no, it's just because I'm nervous that people are going to judge me for being crazy. And it's like, oh, that's just because they're not willing to be crazy. So it's okay, because we're all a little bit crazy. So, like, I apologize to myself for actually thinking that I needed to forgive myself, because I don't. I'm absolutely amazing, the same as you are in every single moment. And that's really challenging for people to hear, me telling myself that I'm amazing, because we are constantly putting ourselves down, constantly filling ourselves up with thoughts of unworthiness and thoughts that are ineffective and thoughts that hurt us. We are literally, before we start to get conscious and look at our inner world, we think that it's so scary that we don't want to go into ourselves and we don't want to understand ourselves, and we're just going to do everything like, oh yeah, everything's fine, and not deal with anything. Yet when we go in and do the work, that's where the freedom and the liberation is. The things that we are scared of are actually pleasurable. Yes, you might cry for 30 minutes for a lifetime of freedom. You know, it totally balances out. So don't be scared to go into your edges. Don't be scared to go into the fear. Yes, maybe if there's people all around you, don't necessarily do it there. I have accidentally. It's really hard being intuitive sometimes. Having a rebirthing at somebody's birthday, that's pretty challenging, let me tell you. Having an experience where I'm literally seeing my mother giving birth to me. Like, it's intense sometimes. But when you're held in a safe container and you have the people around you that understand the process of pretty much most things that are going on, especially in intuitive, it's great to understand, especially if I'm working with anybody, like I get it, because I'm able to tune into them so I can get my mind out of the way and literally be a clear vessel for what is coming through for them, so that I can give them whatever information they need at that time that is going to serve their soul and their soul's journey. That's the best part of the magic that we get to do, right? Like, it's not me. Like, people are like, oh, why do you think your program's so amazing? I'm like, it's not. You're amazing and you showed up. I'm just a vessel for you to get where you need to go. It's not me. It's legit not me, you know? So that's something that I just wanted to talk a little about. This terror and rage, and just diving straight into it will heal you and give you freedom, and give yourself the time and space for these things. Like, this took me, this process, like 4 hours. Don't be scared to go into your breath. Don't be scared to be by yourself and be in stillness. The things that we step away from and we're scared of doing are our healings, but we generally will go to somebody else so that they can be the healer. You know, like here, and I used to go to so many healers, like, yeah, I need to go to this person for healing. It's like, actually, they're just creating a beautiful space for you to heal yourself, right? Like, a great healer just gives you the space to heal yourself. That's why I love being a breathwork facilitator, or like I serve people hape, which is a plant medicine, or like meditation things, or taking them out to do a reconnection with nature and that sort of thing. But it's not about me. It's about me creating a container for them to tune in with their higher self, or to tune in with Mother Nature, or to tune in with their past, and then giving them the tools to be able to deal with it themselves for the rest of their lives. Because the work never stops when you leave that person. They'll give you as many, exactly, breathwork. Like Maggie's one of my old clients. Breathwork is everything. Now a sister, breathwork is everything amazing. Like, it literally, blah, 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 plant medicine, literally, blah, 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 all of the things. Just doing a juice fast, blah, 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 mind-blowing, right? So wherever it is, whatever it is that you're doing, just go into it with intention, you know? Like, I had this amazing experience this morning, 4 hours of like going through worlds and timelines and all of the things. And then I came out to journal it. I'm like, I don't even know where my journal is. Like, I could not find it anywhere. I haven't been able to find my journal just to write down all this amazingness. So it's just like, everything is so perfectly aligned. It's like, no, you're not going to write down that. You are going to go and do a little video and share it with other people. I'm not going to show you where you put your diary. You didn't eat for 50 days. Now deal with that. So I'm like, okay. I get it. All right, sure, no worries. So that's why I'm tuning in about it. And yeah, so that was my story of today. A little bit about what happened, and I just am really grateful to a lot of the people that are on here today, that are regularly on here. Like, you people just give me so much inspiration. I had so many, like, it was so funny. I was like, oh, I feel bad for how crazy I was yesterday. And then I woke up and there were so many messages from people just being like, thank you so much. That inspired me so much. I'm like, oh, you guys, I thought I was like being detrimental. But obviously you can never be detrimental when you come to from your heart, right? Like, I was just sharing truth, and that's what I will always do. Anybody that knows me, I'll just always share my truth. That's why it's been very challenging for me that I haven't been able to speak out about this other thing that's been going on, because I don't lie. Like, lying is not in my being, right? And to not be able to share that with people, so that not only will other people get, they'll get insights into how to deal with situations, but I also, like, it helps me understand as well, because we all learn together, right? So I will wait to speak to my lawyers a little bit about more about that on Monday, so that I can see if this is something that I'm going to share, because yeah, it's really big in my life right now, and it's not good. And so yeah, the next step is going to the police, because, you know, injustice, like, I let one go this year already and just like let it go, and on some levels it didn't feel right, because like I just surrendered to the other thing, and I was like, you know what, you just take it, like, can't even be bothered to go there with this. And it was like, that was really silly, because, you know, that person anyway. And so I don't think it's the right thing to let this happen again, and especially when I know so much about sovereignty. So I think I'm just going to go to High Court about it, and I'm excited about that. Like, that's something that I haven't done before, and I know that I've got amazing people around me that are everything great in this world. So I'm actually really excited. So for me, this is literally about what's right for future people that come into that company, and knowing that it has some fucking integrity, and that I was able to leave it a little bit better than when I came in. Like, that's my mission in life, that everywhere I go, I leave it a little bit better than when I came in, because, like, we should all be a little bit compassionate to the whole situation, all of the people, all of those things, and allowing people to get away with things that are not okay, then like it's not right for me to just walk away from that, you know. So I'm gonna share more on that on Tuesday once I've spoken to my lawyers and stuff, and really bring that to the light, which will make a whole lot of people not very happy. And it's time, because those people have just caused too much heartache and trauma to other people, and the time is now. It's done, guys. So I'm sorry you feel like you're trying to hurt me and things like that. And it's like that story with the snake. You try and cut its head off and two grow back. This bitch, no matter how chilled she is, she's still got fight in her. So I just have to honor that. It's like and it's not about being masculine or feminine or anything like that. But, you know, like if a lioness, if her cubs are in harm's way, she will fucking fight for their lives. And that's how it is. It's just how it is. That's how I feel about a lot of situations. Like, leave it a little bit better than when you come in, and do your best so that whatever happens after that, it's going to be more positive than when you left it, right? So that's where I'm coming from that. And I'll share more with you at another time. As always, if you need any assistance with trauma, it's definitely one of my specialties, let me tell you. So if you need any help understanding what's going on, or how to lean into the edges that scare you, or not even knowing why things aren't working in your life, or why you feel the need to go and see a healer or go and do any of those things, rather than just going and seeing a person, allowing them to do some amazing magic on you where you feel good, sometimes it's really important for you to understand what is actually happening, and so that you actually heal it consciously as well as subconsciously. Because if only one part of you has gotten the healing, then you're almost like bypassing it, and it will probably come up again. That's just been my personal experience, and from all of the clients that I've seen over the years, which has been thousands, you know. So if any of that resonates, then get in touch. My name is Blythe Langford. I'm a holistic business coach. I help people with health, trauma, business, liberation. It's really, I guess I'm really a liberation coach. Whatever area you need liberated in your life, wherever you feel like you're stuck or lacking or unworthy of love, or not loving on yourself enough, or feel disconnected from Mother Earth, then you need a little bit of liberation somewhere, or a little bit of support in your business, or how to start a new business, create the impact that you want to create, then get in touch. This is what I do. It's absolutely the greatest thing in the world, and everybody that works with me, you end up becoming a part of the non-for-profit work that we do, because like Maggie came to Mexico and she supported the next mission that we're creating over there, which is helping reclaim land and reclaim land. I'm sorry, I'm so excited, I lost my breath for a second. Where we get to reclaim land and regenerate it and create cultural healing centres, right? And Maggie's met the guys over there that we're doing that with and supporting them on their land, and they're her family, like we're all family, right? And we're doing that over there and bring them over here, and that's why I'm starting my initiations over here with some tribes over here, so that we can start to do that here, because a lot came through this morning about doing a really big cultural healing centre over here, and getting a lot of foster kids in and a lot of families and things like that in, so that we can help support them on their journeys and teach them the breath and teach them allow them just to feel loved as well, so that they can really heal. And so much, we do so much there, so it's just a really beautiful space for everybody to just have beautiful experiences. So that's some of what we do, and get in touch. I love you very much. I hope you have a beautiful day, and let me know in the comments if you want me to get in touch with you. Put a little whoop whoop down the bottom, or let me know what resonated for you on this call. Like, put in the notes now, like what come up for you? Like, what did you feel? What touched your heart? What gave you a little bit of inspiration in your life, or is something that you want to look at? Like, just let me know if any of this resonated for you. Even just put like a little emoji that just gives you all you're feeling now, you know, just so that something lands for you, because this is always a transmission of love. So just allow that to come in. A lot of us are scared of receiving love from other people, and I know that, like, I've got so much love, and there's been a lot of people that find it very hard to receive that from me, because they're just not open to receiving love. So just allow yourself, like, we all want more love and joy and happiness, so just allow a bit of the love through, and just pop it in the notes how you're feeling, like receiving that little bit of love. Like, how does that feel for you? You know, is it comfortable? Is it uncomfortable? Does it make you angry? Does it make you happy? You know, does it make you feel like unicorns or caterpillars or butterflies? Let us know. And I love you so much. Beautiful people, we change the world together.